Hi, this is JilliBling of JilliBling.com, and I would like to share with you today a project using the Curvy Christmas and the Quite Curvy bundle. This is the project. It'll be using primarily the Curvy Christmas stamp set, but when you get the bundle, you also get Quite Curvy, which I used in a prior project, and they're both really nice. And they go with the dies, and the dies are called Curvy dies. And we'll be using just one of the dies today. It is this one right here. I'll be using mostly this set. But before I go any further, for this project, there's one thing that I'm hoping you'll be aware of. And if you don't, or if you forget, it's okay, it will all work out. But this die that has all these little dots on it, one side of the die, the side here, has the cutting edge on it. So this right here is what cuts the curve. This side over here does nothing other than sit against the paper. And of course, right in the middle, it does all the dots. So the reason I mentioned that right at the very beginning is if this side right here does the cutting, that's what cuts this. And I don't get any of the dots. You know what, I turned it over. It goes just like this. Just as long as you're aware that one side does the cutting, the other side doesn't. The piece that I cut away from here, the one with all the dots, I ended up putting it on the inside. So it doesn't matter. However you cut it, it's just fine. But just be aware that you'll get two very different pieces. Okay, so we'll use this in just a minute. I'm going to use the moose punch for the moose. Tie a little linen thread or baker's twine on. And I had some of these bells from last year, but any bells that you have. I got a bunch on Amazon last year, and the year before I got some different ones. So there's all kinds of bells to choose from. These are the ones from the year before, and these, I'll pull one out to be used right now. The little bit brighter silver, and I don't know, they might be real silver because they're so bright. A little bit of a shake. We'll use that one on today's project. But when you get this project kit, you can use any little bell you like. Okay, we'll use the punch and punch the moose out of espresso paper. I have one of those done. Okay, so let's get started, and we'll be using blender pens. I'll show you about that in just a minute. Colors are Seaside Spray, Early Espresso, Cherry Cobbler, and Shaded Spruce. Okay, put those over there. We'll be using this. These we'll use real soon. Okay. So here are bits and pieces. And this time I'm going to try to work from the base of the card up. Usually I just start with whatever's on the top of the pile, but I'm trying to become a little bit more regimented about, let's start with the bottom and work up. So there's the base paper. And before I forget, still pictures in the video will be on my blog, JilliBling.com. And you could get all the items through my store, JillyStampinup.net. And of course, if you're watching the video, you're on YouTube. A few little snowflakes we'll use. So the next layer is crumb cake. Crumb cake is here, so let's attach that. Because there's no stamping, it's easy to attach it right away. Get that out of that pile. Okay. The next layer is the white. I'll pull that out. Here's the white paper. It'll go there. The next layer is the designer paper, and you'll have lots of options, lots of choices. You'll have little dots, looks like snow. I love the pine, but I'm going to leave that for you all. I like the, well, Oh, I have that gadget in my house that talks to me talking. This one is nice. We'll use that one today. Stars. All kinds of, ooh, I like this one. I really like that. Okay, I'll leave it for you. There's all kinds of options, and none of them are wrong. They're all good. Okay, so this is going to go here, but it will need a pass through with the die, and I see some things that are not punched out. So with your dies, if ever you have an intricate die, make sure that all the little papers are punched out of there. Otherwise, when you use the die, you won't get a good cut. And this die in particular, I'm going to show you something that is a great tip, but do it with caution. So if you have your snips, and I know we all love our snips, close them up. I don't want you to use them while they're open because we're trying to preserve the life and the sharpness of the snips. Okay, closed up. And if you take it and just run it over all these little holes, they all just fall out. It's kind of amazing how good and well that works. Okay, so let's cut this while I'm thinking about it. Oh, and I'm going to look at this right here is the cutting edge. So I'm going to put it on like this because it's going to cut right along here. And once again, if you do it and it's upside down, it's okay too. There's no wrong. Okay, so let's cut that. So here it is. It's cut. And because this is a busy pattern, oh, I like the stars too. I'm going to hold it up close. But see up here, this smaller piece, that's the one with all the dots. I'm going to put that on the card inside. And then I'm going to use this one here that just has a smooth, simple edge. Or you know what, maybe I should do it opposite so you know that no matter how you do it, you're okay. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. And then this one is going to go on the inside. Okay. And the moose is going to go on here. Ooh, he has more air. And I'm going to put the bow on with this linen thread. So to do that, when you're working with threading a tiny little thing, you could take your chances and try to put it through there. But I don't know if you could tell. The tip is getting a bit frayed. It's not working. So if you take a little liquid glue, just a tiny little bit, I'll hold it up so you know how tiny. Just a little bit. Put it on the tip of your linen thread or whatever you're using and just kind of roll it around a bit. I'm kind of working it into the tip, and I'll end up cutting this tip off in just a minute. Okay, letting it set for just a minute, or not. And now all those little hairs and strings, they're all gathered together. And look at that, it works like a charm. Okay, got it threaded. So I'm going to put that around Moose, and I'm not going to worry about where the bell is right now. If the bell is on the back, I will be able to move it around to the front. Tie a knot. Then I'm going to tie a bow. Because this is a fancy moose linen thread. I think I use that on at least half of my projects. Okay, so a bow for the moose, and I have the red baker's twine in the project box too. So this project box, it comes with 3 different designs. 2 of them are Christmas and 1 of them is all occasion. A few of you are saying, okay, I've done enough Christmas. I'm ready to do other. Okay, this project box includes all. So sweet. I think I like the linen thread pretty well. This is festive. That's Christmas, yeah. Okay, so I have one really long piece of tail. I'll trim it off. I kind of like it a little bit long. That's his scarf. Okay, and then the belt is right where I want it. Okay, so back to where we were. So I want to stamp the tree, these trees, onto here. So I'll put this down at the bottom just for a little reference. I'm going to do them in shaded spruce. So when you go to stamp the trees, I don't know if it shows on here well or not. I'll mention what I'm talking about because I know it's easy to see it on here. So the trees, they all should be going straight up and down. Mother Nature has a great knack of doing that. But when you hold up the stamp right here, you'll notice some of them are really angled. And I know that I could take the polymer stamp and bend it to whatever shape I want, probably making all the trees go perpendicular to the ground. But if you're aware that the trees might go a little sideways, you're probably, you can angle the stamp to work the way you want. Here's a good bad example. Trees, nice trees. Wow, it got windy over here. I don't like that. So when I worked on the inside, I tilted the stamp a bit. So these are more up and down, and these are getting a little windy over here. But once again, if you're aware of all these little things, I know you'll make your card great. So with that said, how should I guess it's to fit here, but I might do it, because I have so much room, I'm going to do this one somehow quite a bit different. Oh, and because we're using a big block, you'll probably get ink up at the top. Just be careful to go straight down and then right straight back up. Okay, doing it different on purpose. Okay, let's see. These are going this way a little bit. These are going that way. It's just windy. In the winter, it's windy. So you know how I was talking about stamping straight down and straight up with your block? I know you won't make this mistake, but look what happened. So I flipped it over and it turned out just fine. So I could have used this side. So remember, we have magic paper. If ever you make a whoops, you could always flip it over. But I figured if this happened to me, it's probably going to happen to you too. And I don't want you to throw the paper out because there's a way to fix it. So on this one, on some white paper that is in the box, right here, I stamped Merry Christmas. And there's some of the shaded spruce paper. I'm going to put it on this right here. And if you have it just on the white, here, let me take the finished one. So here it is. You're like, oh man, I messed up. It gets lost. So I'm going to put it on shaded spruce. I'm going to put a little flag in it. Okay, now put that on here. Okay, and then with your snips, trying to do it in one cut. Okay, 2 cuts. Cut this end a little bit bigger. Then, see how this end has a lot extra, but that's accommodating for the shaded spruce tips of the flag. So, go there. And if yours doesn't come out perfect, that's fine. Whoever receives this card, they should not be so critical. You made the card. Okay, that turned out cute. Okay, little papers over here. So here's this. And when I put it on here, it's like, yeah, I planned that. And I'll put it right against the edge. Yeah, I planned it. And it covers up that. Okay, so I'll put this in. Maybe I'll make a sample. Maybe I'll make another sample using this. Okay, so back to where we were. Here's this. And I have a lot of white space on here. This goes here. This is going to go here. The moose will go here again. So on the sample, I did a nice Christmas message up there, but on the inside, I did this little galaxy thing. Oh, I just knocked off 2 of my sparklies. I'll have to put that on. What I should have done is gone back with the glue and put a dot of glue on each of those. Okay, but I might put the stars on the front of this card. Okay, so we're done with the trees for now. Here's the stars, and those are going to go into Seaside Spray at the top. Okay, then I'm going to do it a second time because that's cute, but I think I like it better with a few more stars. Maybe turn it over. Whew, yeah. Whew, this one is like really angular. Everything is, that's nice. Lots of angles. Okay, done with the Seaside Spray. So if the moose goes here, it's getting a little busy on the front. So I was planning on putting those same words. May your days be merry and bright. I think that could go right there, especially because it's in the cherry cobbler. It should show up real well. Yeah, this card is getting a little busy and crazy, but somehow it's happy. I like it. I like it like that. Okay, and you know that probably would have fit really well right against the trees, but that's okay. I like it there. Okay, so let's start assembling the front. So do you use liquid glue or do you use tape runner? Whatever you like, without getting it on your paper. Ew. Adhesive remover. Boys like canned beer. I like craft tools. I like my adhesive remover. Okay. So, this is going to go at the very bottom. Okay, I have a little white border. I'm pretending like I planned that. And if I didn't cut the papers to exact size, you could flip it over and there's just a little excess right here. Trim that off. Okay, looking good. So now this is going to go on to the crumb cake paper. I hope that everyone isn't tired of Christmas. Oh, so this bundle is a sneak peek. It is going to be in the January mini catalog, but we could get it now. Beginning in November, you can order it now. As a demonstrator, I got it a little bit in advance, just so I can make samples, and I'm finally coming around to making samples. So this whole project box is all about the Quite Curvy bundle. It's really cute. And it comes with the designer paper. So this is inside. We'll stamp something on the inside. This is going to go here. Okay, little smudge right there. Okay. And when you look at this one, notice the trees have a little bit of color. And hey, notice the stems have a little color. And hey, the snow has a little color. Let's do that. So we'll be using a blender pen. When you get the blender pens, it comes in a 3-pack, so you could share with a friend. And blender pen is like a marker that has no color in it. When you take the lid off, make sure there's no color on the tip, because if it had orange or yellow and we were going to do the trees, you wouldn't be happy. So to do the trees, let me get this up a little close. There's no color right now on my blender pen. I could dip it into the ink pad, but I want to take the color spruce from what I just stamped, and the blender pen will kind of reactivate and moisten the ink, and I'm just going to drag that down onto these branches, and that will make it look like I've colored it and filled it in. Oh, you can really see it happening now. So at first when I was doing it, I was going from the bottom of the branch and pulling it up, but I found that there's more ink from the stamp in the center of the tree. So now I'm working from the center of the tree, pulling the color out to the bottom of the branches. It's a little bit more effective. So I'm going to keep doing this on all of the trees, color them in, and then I'm going to go back and use an espresso spot and color in the tree trunks. But when I do that, because the trees are stamped in shaded spruce, a little bit of the spruce will find its way into the trunk. It won't be just espresso, but because they're both deep, heavy colors, it's okay. It turns out just fine. At first I was coloring the trunks using the crumb cake color, but that was showing too much green. But because espresso is a bit darker, it works well. So guess what I did this weekend? My darling son bought a house. It all went through. And he moved into his new place a little bit. And keep in mind, he had just one room here at home. He moved in some Saturday, and his bed went on Sunday. That was really hard. I know he went off to school, but we saw him every weekend, and I knew he'd be coming back. But when you buy a house... Anyhow, he's happy. He posted pictures. He made spaghetti his first night there. Just hard. It's hard being a mom. Espresso. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. No ink on there, so I'm going to pick up a little bit of the espresso and do the stem. Works just fine. Okay, and then I have more news. Emma, her house was appraised. Well, keep in mind, she's been looking for probably a year, and at first we heard every house she was going to look at. We looked at it, gave her our opinion, and it's come to the point where she doesn't even tell us that she's looking at a house, because in Bremerton the market is so strong there that people overbid, people pay outright cash. And for a year now, she keeps trying. Nothing. Anyhow, this one turned out good. So, because I accepted her offer, she has a loan. The appraisal went through. Now we're just waiting for talk of a date and her moving. She says it's going to be early December. So that's really exciting. She was supposed to come, our only visitor, for Thanksgiving, but her friend Connor, guess what? He tested positive for COVID. So, because she hangs out with Connor, and keep in mind, he's just a friend, she has to quarantine for 2 weeks. And because she has multiple jobs in healthcare, one of her places, they already test, as part of routine testing, they tested her on Thursday. She was supposed to be here Friday evening, and Connor found out Friday he's positive. So she went to get tested Friday, like the 15-minute test. And they said, give it a little bit of incubation time. Why don't you come back on Sunday, and we'll test you then. And it's a 15-minute results test. So Sunday she went in, and they said, if you're positive, we'll let you know in a few hours. So we called her. What's going on? What'd they say? She goes, I did what I was supposed to do, but I haven't heard from them. And she eventually had like her online portal, and she found out she's negative, which is good. And Connor, he's not bad. He has some symptoms, but he's not really bad, which is good. Youth is in his favor. So we didn't get to see her for Thanksgiving. Okay, so I just did Seaside Spray, clear off the marker tip, and put a few snowy mountains in there. And then this one is going to, he could go on there now that I've done all the watercoloring. I'll put him on with dimensionals. Where should he go? I like all my trees. Right in the middle? No, I think covering up this white spot. This one is way over there. He could go here. I don't know. There's no good spot because all the trees are cute. Okay, so the outside is almost done. I want to put little sparklies on. So I'm going to take my liquid glue and go over all of the stars. On this sample, I just put a few dots because I didn't do the star stamp. I think I did 7 or 8 dots of glue. And I just put some of the, what do they call it, snowflake embellishments. Here, I'll look it up in just a minute. Glue, they are called snowflake sequins. So, because these are stars, I might put a few snowflakes in there, but I'm going to do mostly other things. Okay, so I put a dot of glue in each of the stars. With my snips, I'm going to put them in a puddle of glue, so now I could pick up stars and sequins. Oop, I think I have a few of them on there. Oh, I like the iridescent ones. Sometimes I pick up a couple at a time. Just any random one that comes on. There's some of them that are silver. The silver ones I'm going to have them spaced apart, so they're not all together. I think the stars and the circles are better on this because the snowflake covers up the star look. Okay, I have more news. Kathy and David bought property. They're about a half an hour away, but that's exciting. And it's not that they're going to move in tomorrow. It's going to, they're going to move in, they're saying like it's the 5-year plan. How many more? Oh, quite a few more. Okay, I'm getting there. Okay, I think, oh, one more right here. Okay, and so they don't fall off like they did on the inside of my card. I probably should let them dry. I'm going to take my liquid glue and put a dot of liquid glue on the top of each of these sequins, because that will lock them into place. Because there's nothing that drives me more crazy than taking the time to put these sequins on and them falling off. That's not good. I probably should have let them dry a little bit more, because when I touch the tip of the glue bottle to the sequin, some of them are kind of scooching around a little bit. And you know, this is going to make it hard to work on the inside, but I'll find a way to make it work. Okay, glue done. These we'll probably use more in just a minute. Okay, so for the inside, I already put the, did I? Okay, I put the red cherry cobbler paper in there. So this is the inside, which I'm not going to put much on because this paper is bigger. So I might do the trees and then just a greeting. Okay, so trees are done in shaded spruce trees. This way they fit the paper pretty good. Nice. And then how about simply Merry Christmas in cherry cobbler for the inside. And then that's all I'm going to do on the inside because the outside is kind of busy. Merry Christmas. There we go. Okay. No snowflakes. Snowflakes for the outside only. So I can attach this piece of designer paper. Ooh. No. Attach this piece of designer paper. Got ink all up in there. Okay, so you could see the edge of the paper. Put that there. Oh, much easier. I was looking at that edge. I could trim it. Okay, I will. Because the inside border is cherry cobbler. If it was shaded spruce, border, or no border, I would leave it. Okay, I have to be careful. There's blobs of glue everywhere. How about that go there? Very sweet. And I will take a few minutes, me and my blender pen, and color the tree trunk, and a little bit of snow. And when I post the picture, that will be done, but I don't need to do that. You've already seen how you could do it here. So there it is. I hope you want to do this box using Quite Curvy Bundle. And I'll post the pictures of the other projects included in this box on my blog and also on YouTube. So that's it for today. And I have plenty of other stuff lined up for the next few days. So tune in if you can. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Hopefully I showed you something. Have a great day. Bye.